strikeout.
I'm just still impressed that you're watching baseball. I know you have the prop, but it's still kind of cool to.
Playoff baseball is different.
Yeah.
But we all still agree that playoff hockey is the best of the best, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Like that one game I saw last year, I can't remember who it was. It was like 14 goals scored. I'm like, that's never gonna happen again.
It's probably Vegas. And
It wasn't Vegas.
Yeah.
It was not Vegas. I know Vegas was not involved. They
Was
didn't
it
make the playoffs
Seattle?
No.
No, Seattle.
It wasn't
didn't
a new
make
team.
They
It
didn't
was-
make the playoffs.
I think it was the Flames and the Oilers. That's who it was. It was the Flames and the
I
Oilers.
think you're right.
It was 14 goals in the playoff game.
I just saw a TikTok of the Oilers. Their concessions. They are charging $55 for two double cheeseburger combos together. $55.
It's insane.
But on their own, so okay, the combo comes with burger, chips, drink, burger, chips, drink. But if you get just the burger and the drink, it's $22. Do that math. $22. If you get two of them, that's $44. But the combo with the chips is $55.
So 2 bags of chips is $11.
Yeah. Make it make sense. This is the oil. I mean, I don't know the conversion rate of the Canadian dollar, but that's still absurd.
It's about equal.
It's ridiculous. I will never go see that, but it actually feels kind of good outside today.
Not this morning.
What do you mean?
Oh, come on, you wimp.
Yeah.
I did not expect it to be 40 degrees when I first woke up. I was
I slept with
freezing.
my windows open, sir.
October 19th.
Actually, it's not the same. One Canadian dollar equals 0.73 US dollars. So one Canadian dollar is 73 cents.
That's what I thought.
Close though.
Anyway, yeah, no, it actually felt like fall outside, and I mean, Halloween's right around the corner. You got costumes?
No.
No.
Lucky.
What do you?
Of course I have to have a costume. I don't have one yet, but Alyssa wants me to be Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Schmertz, I don't know how you say his name, and she's going to be Perry the Platypus.
What the?
Dr. C. Dr. Oh,
Doofenshmirtz
yeah,
Evil Incorporated. Yeah, that's what I have to do. I don't know. I just follow rules. I don't.
A platypus? Perry the platypus.
Perry the Platypus? What are you doing here? Yes, I'm going to have to do that all night.
You're gonna be like,
I'm sorry. That just sounds miserable.
you're like Gru almost. But
yeah, a
without the
different version.
minions.
You know, honestly, I might be Gru for Murray Halloween, and this is a shout out. This is the start of the show, by the way. What is it? Episode 76. Mike is here, Skyler's here, I'm here. Obviously, you can hear it. So yeah, boom. There's the intro to the show. But Murray Halloween. Have you guys heard of it?
No.
Okay, but you know where Murray Hill is.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, okay. So Murray Hill does this huge thing every year where it's a big like block party. There's going to be live music. There's going to be things for kids. I'll be out there for the day job, handing out candy to little kids, and I think I'll dress up as Gru for that. Maybe I can do that. Wait, isn't he bald?
Yeah. I was going to say, you're going to shave your head bald?
No, I'm not.
You
gonna
can get
do
a
that.
cap. You can get like a swim cap too. And
Well, it's this Saturday, and this Saturday being the 22nd. I don't know if I want to go out and buy a bald cap, and I do still have to go buy the doctor's.
well, do you know anyone
Check.
with a swim cap? Anyone on swim team?
My favorite car. They do that every time they drive by.
Is that a clown car?
No.
Is it always the same time?
Usually no, because usually it's during the middle of the day, and they'll do the whole with their horn, and they'll do it like 3 times.
Have you seen like the Teslas that have that already built in?
No, that's pretty wild. But
Yeah.
I wanted to touch on Halloween real quick. Last year we did our favorite Halloween candies. I don't remember what we all said, but
I don't even remember doing that.
we definitely did it though, because I remember talking about how elite Reese's are. But I wanted to do the best non-traditional candy bar. So like not a Milky Way, but like a Milky Way Midnight. So not your regular candy bar.
Now,
What is your favorite of the non-traditionals?
well, okay, this one's a little, I don't like.
Doesn't
What-
have to be a candy bar either. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It could be Skittles or something like that.
Well, I know like whatchamacallit is. I don't know if that like that's obviously known. They have a who's it what's it.
Yeah.
I love the who's it what's it.
What's in that?
It's like peanut butter and it's almost like
Because the whatchamacallit is a great candy bar. But
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever, like I've seen the who's it, what's it, or
who's
whatever.
it what's it. How do you spell it? Woozy what's it?
I've only seen pictures of it. I've never actually purchased one. And I'm kind of curious to see what it tastes like.
It is Woozy what's it? WHOZEEWHATZIT. It's chocolate with chocolatey crisp and peanut butter candy bar.
I can't imagine that would be bad.
Yeah, I mean it's like a kind of like a big Kit Kat almost, but not as
God, I love Kit
not as
Kats.
like wafery.
Yeah.
You know, I always like the Snickers almonds like you too.
See,
yeah.
and it's funny you say that because I do love Snickers almonds, but if I'm going to pick an alternate Snickers item, I'm going Snickers peanut butter. Snickers peanut butter are amazing.
See, I like M&M peanut butter M&Ms or whatever. Those
Peanut butter M&Ms are elite as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Pretzel M&Ms, also very good. Caramel M&Ms, very good. The original crispy M&Ms, very, 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 very good.
Now for
I
like a
love
candy
M&Ms.
like Jolly Rancher, would you say like the Jolly Rancher lollipops are like the non-traditional?
What about you, Mike? What's your candy?
The wild berry Skittles are very good.
Oh, yeah, those are
Those
good.
are good. Tropical
Sour Skittles were
Sour
always my favorite as a
Skittles,
kid.
Sour Patch, Watermelon Sour Patch Kids, like those. It was the
those
original
are
Sour
good.
Patch Kids. Then went to, I think, and then it went to Sour Patch Watermelons. Those
Yeah.
are very good. All chocolate, like in terms of peanut butter and chocolate, very good. I was thinking the little Reese's peanut butter cups, like that are not just
The mini ones,
they're in gold
okay,
wrapping.
those are the miniature cups,
The
but they're
miniature
not.
cups.
Yeah, so they're not the little itty bitty ones, but they're still small enough to where they're still actually individually wrapped.
Yes,
right?
they're individually
Okay.
They have
wrapped,
like
yeah.
Reese's minis, and they have Reese's mini cups, and then they have.
It's
all
so
sorts of-
extensive. They
Yeah.
have the big cup and the
What would you consider like a zero candy bar?
zero, like the worst.
No, like zero.
Oh, the zero of the British candy bar. It's okay, I guess.
Fine. Oh, never mind. Forget I mentioned.
100 grand, man. That's what
100
you go
grand
with.
is good.
I don't think I've ever had one.
Oh God, I just had one. I should have given you half.
I had a Butterfinger on the way here.
They're not good anymore.
Butterfinger? You
Not
don't like 'em?
anymore. The new recipe sucks.
I don't think that's bad. Like,
No, it's not good.
Take 5 is good.
I don't know. Maybe
I like
not.
Take
Maybe I
Five.
don't
the
have
old
a new
Take 5
recipe.
is better than the new one too. Crunch too. When we were kids,
is
Crunch tasted better.
Oh,
than it does now.
the Hershey's cookies and cream.
Oh, yeah.
Hershey's
Oh,
cooking.
man.
Do you guys remember the Crunch bars? This is dating us way back because most people I talk to about this don't remember. Scott and I have had many conversations, but it was Crunch. There was a Crunch caramel. There was a Crunch peanut butter. And I'm pretty sure there was like a mint one too.
Sounds
There's
a
like
little
there's like
familiar.
no pictures of it on the internet.
I don't remember those at
You
all.
might
But
have-
they existed.
you-
Because he had them and I had them for sure.
You should find one of those like TikToks with like the candy stores. Like they have all the.
Yeah, I just saw one of those the other day.
Yeah, find one of those and see if you can find those. Because I mean, I feel like a lot of those things, even though they're not existing here in America, like they exist. Like
That's true.
mint is very popular, like in India. I think, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know.
I'll take your word. I have no idea.
Well, what I went to, like, if you go to Sahara's, like the hookah lounge. I don't know. But I did some more Middle Eastern, I guess. But like, when I order tea, you get like mint tea.
Yeah.
So
And the mint flavor hookahs too.
it's very interesting
type
drinking
of
mint
hookah.
tea.
I knew it was your favorite.
I like mint a lot, man. I like mint chocolate chip. Like I like mint a lot.
Wait, mint chocolate chip hookah, or are you just talking about mint chocolate chip?
In general, we're talking about chocolates.
I've
but
got some. Wait, you don't like dark chocolate though, do you?
I'll eat it, but it's not like.
Because I've got some dark chocolate
Did you-
mint Dove out there in the
I'll give it a try.
living room.
I'll give it a try. After
Did
we
you
finish.
did you see that Ferrero Rocher has a new candy bar? It's got like hazelnut in between the candy bar.
I
And
don't like hazelnut.
you don't like Ferrero Rocher at all?
No.
You're crazy. Ferrero Rocher is delicious.
But okay, so we're still talking about candy. I love this. My fancy
The
chocolate
Ghirardelli.
of choice. No, it's gonna be Toblerone.
Toblerone is
That's
delicious.
fancy to you?
It comes in a crazy triangles.
It's
and
just
shit.
shaped like a mountain, sure, but I don't like them. I don't know.
Oh no, I'd take Toblerone over Ferrero Rocher any day.
I'm Ferrero Rocher is my favorite fancy probably, except for like I like the truffles, Lindor truffles. Oh,
Those are really good.
I'm
we
not
used
a
to
fan
sell
of
those at Academy.
God
Oh
damn.
my gosh,
I'm not a fan of those.
I love truffles. Have you ever had a homemade truffle
it's
though?
making
No.
me angry.
I'm Arabic, bro. Do you think I'm gonna have a homemade truffle?
You live in America.
I don't know if someone maybe gave you one or something like that. I didn't make it. My grandma made it, and I had it. It was an Oreo truffle.
You don't know his grandma?
No.
Oh man! Any other candies that we missed on? I mean, we're
Basically covered
about
a
8
lot.
minutes on candy. I love this.
I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but
Okay, fine. This will be the last note. If you have not been to Trader Joe's, go to Trader Joe's.
Mm-hmm.
Try their version of Swedish fish. They call them like Norwegian swimmers or something like that.
Interesting.
As a joke. They're very, very good. Very good. And their mini peanut butter cups are outstanding. I put them in the fridge.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Talking about candy. I haven't even had dinner yet. Goodness gracious.
Boy, that was sweet.
Episode 76. As I mentioned before, we are...
Luke Jokel.
Luke Jokel. Don't even say his
I
name.
wasn't even thinking of him, but okay.
Who are you thinking?
All the 76ers.
the Philadelphia 76.
Okay, I'll give you that. That's all we need. That's plenty of 76s right there. No, this episode, we're going to try and focus mostly on the Jaguars. I apologize. Usually we record on Tuesday nights. I forgot I had a work event, so I was unable to record. But we do want to touch on the Gators and Noles briefly. Well, I forgot. We got to go around the Sunshine State. Cue the music. So, around the Sunshine State, Skyler, let's start with you. As the only team that played on Wednesday was UCF. Or Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday. Gosh, I keep saying that. Thursday.
Thursday, October 13th. Temple came down to O-Town, and they should have stayed home. It was 70-13.
Ooh, goodness.
UCF, they wore their space uniforms, and they basically obliterated Temple out of this stratosphere. Everyone loves the space uniforms, obviously. Like I love the touch of blue this year. And they have a really nice history, UCF, about like their aeronautical program or whatever, like just how they got started. So you don't know too much about why they do the space uniforms. Maybe we talk about it some other time, but
I did the research, so yeah, I'd be happy to talk about
it's pretty cool. So, but we can move on to the next game, 70-13 UCF.
Going down south, the Hurricane, or really went up north to Blacksburg, but the Hurricanes got their first ACC win under Mario Cristobal, and they won 20-14 against Virginia Tech.
Moving across for a ranked team here, the 25th ranked Tulane Green Wave. Well, I guess maybe they weren't ranked last week, but they're ranked now. Tulane 45, South Florida 31. Chalk up another L for South Florida, who's now 11th in the AAC.
All right, and then we got Jackson State came up into Jacksonville to play Bethune-Cookman, who visiting from Daytona Beach.
Good crowd.
I didn't get to see the crowd. I didn't get to watch the game. I saw that big hit, though, by the safety. I wish I could have gone just because, I think it would have been a great atmosphere anyways. Jackson State moves on to 6-0, 4-0 in the conference, winning 48-8. Bethune-Cookman getting their only touchdown at the start of the fourth quarter to make it a 31-point game at that point.
Dang.
Not able to, close that gap anymore anyway. So, Jackson State looking good in their conference, and Deion Sanders, listening to offers.
Going to FIU, where they had a home game against the University of Texas San Antonio Roadrunners, aka UTSA, for those who don't care about the team, the actual acronym. They lost 30-10 to those Roadrunners. Yeah, sucks for FIU. And then going 46 miles down the road, we go to FAU. FAU did take care of a school named after food. They won 17-14 against Rice University.
A G school that's not the Green Bay Packers, that's not the Georgia Bulldogs, Grambling State.
Yeah, I got it right.
The Tigers lose yet again to Florida A&M, who are now 5-2 and second in the conference, beating the Tigers 20-16 in this game on Saturday. And last but not least is Ed Waters losing yet again. North Carolina A&T takes care of business at home, 45-7. Ed Waters with still just one win on the season. So that was it for Around the Sunshine State. We love doing it. It is kind of a fun thing. We're getting a little, I think we're getting kind of a groove with it too. I kind of like that. So
Florida and Florida State.
And Florida State. I was about to say Georgia, Florida, because that's the next game for Florida.
Wouldn't it be Florida, Georgia?
Oh, well, for my Georgia friends, I always say Georgia, Florida.
Yeah,
Mid-season grades here. Florida, it's kind of been up and down. So what do you feel? How do you feel?
I give them a D. I'm pretty close to giving them an F. It's just What's that face, Mike?
Really? For 4-3, you're giving him an F?
No, I said I'm giving him a D.
Or D, I'm sorry, but you're close to giving him an F?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really... we got 3 conference losses. Like, if it was 3 losses outside of the conference, it's a different story.
That is fair. That is fair.
And so, it's frustrating. I get his first year. That's the only reason why it's not an F. It's his first year.
Year 0. That's what we did with Mike Norvell. Year 0.
Yeah, so...
they aren't his recruits. Or did he get to recruit?
No, because COVID year.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so year 0. I don't say I'd say a C for me as an outsider looking in.
I could see C, but we have Georgia coming up, and then I'm not so sure we beat Texas A&M.
Well, this is just for the first half. You know? Yeah. The second half might be an F.
Okay, C minus.
C minus?
And then, but honestly, I feel a D right now. It's just, I feel like we should be in a better spot, especially after week 1, the way we played. Like, we should have built off of that momentum a little bit more. But
I think there are 2 very, very big problems. The first problem is Florida has the worst third down conversion percentage on the defense.
That alone is an F, like F minus,
like 131st in the league.
Exactly. Like how and we're Florida, like in the SEC. Like I hate to bring up a conference, but the fact that you're in that conference should help at least like recruit some good defenders. Like how are you dead last?
Yeah, I don't understand. I wish I had a better answer for that. It's not good, but there is one other thing that I wanted to mention too that is a problem for me is you mentioned week 1. Anthony Richardson hasn't looked like week 1 at all. I mean, they were talking Heisman. I mean, not everybody.
Well, I was too.
People were hyping him, and rightfully so. He had a great game, but still on the season, 6 TDs, 7 interceptions, only completing just over 56% of his passes.
And I mean, he looked better, a little better last game. He had some more deep completions and stuff. But yeah, no, I get it. It's like I don't know what it like. He last year too, like when he would come in, he can throw the ball pretty well. It's like, so it's a mental block or an injury. I don't know. Like we mentioned week 2 against Kentucky, he got wrapped up low around his ankles, and there was murmurs that maybe his ankle was affecting his play. And obviously not being able to run is huge because that opens up a lot for the passing game. Like it just does.
It's crazy because if you look at the last couple games. Like Tennessee, he threw 44 passes. That's, I'm pretty sure, the most on the season. Most likely. EWU, he threw 10 times. Missouri, he threw 14 times. That's not a lot.
No.
I mean, he threw for 25 against LSU, but still only completed 60% of his passes. But 10 and 14 against bad teams. I know they trust the running backs, but it kind of seems like they should be doing a little bit more to get him involved in the offense to make him feel a little more comfortable. Or I don't know. Who calls the plays?
Let me see.
Is it the offensive coordinator or is
I would assume it's the offensive coordinator. But like how we mentioned before, he's 240 pounds or maybe not that heavy.
6'4", 232 is what it says here on ESPN.
Yeah, you can't. That's so tough to tackle. Like,
I mean, look at I'm trying to think of a good example. But I mean, look at Tebow. I know he's not the same, but they made plays for him to where he could throw the ball
exactly
and run the ball. I just feel like there's no good balance. I don't know
that
what's
was when
going on.
when we were running the triple option, obviously, and
very very different offense.
We also had Aaron Hernandez, Percy Harvin.
So do you think the receivers aren't very good, or obviously they're not as good as those guys? But do you think? I feel like they dropped the ball quite a bit.
Yeah, the receivers definitely aren't as good. I think our best receiver is Parasol or
Ricky Parasol,
transfer from Arizona State,
little white guy.
Yeah, and the next great Patriot. So
probably. I mean, yeah, it's going to be an interesting a second half of the season for the Gators. So,
like I said, I'm anticipating a loss to Georgia, and I'm not sure they recover in time versus A&M.
So you give them C minus. That's your official grade.
I'll stick with D.
D.
I won't let y'all talk me out of it. Our only wins, are Eastern Washington, South Florida by a field goal. We barely beat South Florida. Barely beat Missouri.
Yeah, I mean...
And Utah.
Now Utah's our best win, and like
Which is a pretty damn good win.
it is, and that's where like expectations were higher, and we're able to beat Utah, who just took down USC. Why shouldn't we have played better? At least played better. Like we haven't looked good at all. It doesn't matter what game. It's just ugly.
Yeah, I agree.
So
Okay. Well, Mike, going over to you for the Seminoles. What would you give them a grade for the first half of the season? He's thinking. He's got an FSU sweatshirt on.
that's why he's so cold
I
out.
will say
It is a little chilly.
a C plus.
C plus.
Yes.
Okay, explain.
The first 4 games I give him a B. The last 3 games I give him a D.
It's median. Okay, right.
So
Right, isn't
like
that what
right,
that is?
yeah,
Or-
median.
yeah.
Yeah, it's in the middle.
Or the
Middle would be a
pretty-
C.
Pretty
mean,
meaty D.
the mean. I don't know. I can't remember math.
You got the average, and then the median, and then the mean.
Yeah,
and
the
then-
mean, the median, and the mode. The mode is just the most repeated one. The median is the one in the middle, and the mode is the average of them all.
Yeah, so technically is the mode.
So I was
I'm sorry.
right.
So
The
it technically
mean.
is the median and the mean.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I was right when I said them both.
Half
Yeah.
right. Anyway.
Yeah, go math.
So
Sorry.
Florida State should have gone 1-2 in those last 3 against Clemson, NC State, and Wake Forest.
Which one should they have won?
NC State.
Yes. Okay. Thank
I'm
you.
not saying they should have won Clemson. They shouldn't have really been close with Clemson, but whatever.
So you said C plus?
Yeah, C plus.
I give them a C plus as well, and I agree with you
The
about
special
the 1 and 2.
teams. Can I grade by the unit just real quick?
Sure. Go ahead.
Health F, special teams F minus, secondary D plus,
You say half minus?
F minus,
Oh gosh, I said half minus.
quarterback B, running back C, offensive line F, receivers
Can't
B.
write all that down.
Like receivers is actually the bright spot, surprisingly.
If you're listening at home, write it down.
The offense, Jordan Travis looked great the first 4 games. The last 2 of the games, he did not look good.
Well, he came back from an injury, right?
He wasn't really. He missed the Louisville game, so
What was the injury?
ankle.
Okay, I'm trying to process everything that you said. So wait, you said the running backs are a C?
Maybe B.
Okay.
B probably running backs.
All right.
But defensive line also is not great. That's a C, maybe.
Yeah, and
Jared
again
Verse is the
with health, with Verse and Cooper
Yeah, but
both
I'm-
getting hurt.
And linebackers are. I think the linebackers are pretty okay.
DBs,
But, like,
D
DBs are
minus,
ass.
F plus.
Not F, but like they're not good, man. I said a few weeks ago our secondary was going to be a weakness going against the
Yeah.
Wake Forest offense, and it was. Showed clearly against A.T. Perry and Sam Hartman, not Sam Pittman. Sam
Right.
Pittman is the Arkansas head coach.
Micah Pittman. Wow.
Yeah.
Again,
Anyway,
Pittman's, yeah.
and then against NC State, they should have won that game.
Yeah, they really should have. That one hurt.
And coaching
The
also
most.
has been very weird.
Play call has been interesting.
The last 3 games have been very weird.
Yeah, there's been some angst amongst the fans about some of the things that have happened, but
But my
Go ahead,
thing
go ahead.
is, the expectations going into the season were 7 to 8 wins, make a goddamn bowl.
yeah,
Those are very well on track. I would be ecstatic with a season with 7 wins if we beat Florida and Miami. So we go 3-2. Those 2 wins are against Florida and Miami. Now, you can't really lose to Georgia Tech because that'd be very bad if you lose to Georgia Tech. So you really should go 4-1
right.
if things fall your way and Jordan Travis stays healthy the rest of the season. Now, if you're telling me Tate Rodemaker starting against Miami or Florida, yeah, I'm not getting my hopes up.
Yeah,
I'm
me
sure he
neither.
got 1 win for us. I don't think it's going to happen again, personally.
He Matt Flynned it.
Yeah, so the Noles, I give them a C plus, closer to a C than it is a B minus. So that's
Okay.
my grade on it.
Yeah, I give him the C plus too. I say for the second half of the season, there are multiple things that need to be fixed. Obviously, I mean we're 4-3 and not exactly on
Special
a high
teams.
right now. Special teams is number 1. I mean they need to figure out if they're gonna keep Fitzgerald, love Fitzgerald, hate Fitzgerald, do something with somebody else. I don't know. And Mastromanos after
Mastromano is just
after they said he was like the best like inside the 20 punter ever, he has been very mid.
he's been cheeks.
Yeah. So that needs to change, and defense needs to get turnovers. There's only 8 on the season, 4 picks, 4 fumble recoveries.
And I'm
That's
pretty
not going to
sure
get the job done.
I'm pretty sure a majority of them came against Duquesne.
Yeah, and exactly.
I could be wrong. I don't know.
That could skew things, but yeah, it was probably against a weaker opponent too that didn't really matter, like Boston College, and we have a couple picks in that one too. So there needs to be more big plays. Sacks, we have 18 on the season so far, but we need health. Health is obviously the number one thing for every team, but especially with the few guys that we have that are actually pretty good. Cough, cough, Jared Verse. We need these guys to be 100%. So hopefully the bye week is good to Florida, is good to Florida State. The Gators, of course, will be playing in Jacksonville against Georgia. We all know that. And then the Noles will be playing the other Georgia team, Georgia Tech, on that same Saturday. So
in Tallahassee, right?
In Tallahassee, correct.
Thank God.
You don't want to go to Atlanta?
No, we always struggle in Atlanta.
Yeah, no, we're not very good in Atlanta.
You guys
anywhere in Atlanta. Mercedes-Benz, I'm good. I don't want to go there anymore.
We haven't been there since 2017. There's a reason for that.
You could say when Georgia Tech plays at home, they're technically sound.
I hate you. So now to the meat and potatoes of the episode is the Jacksonville Jaguars. I would love to metaphorically hand the mic over to Mr. Mike Yazji as he will go off on a Mike's Mad Minute. If I do have the sound there, so I will insert that.
Mike's Mad Minute.
The defense was one of the worst things I've ever seen. How the hell do you let a 40-year-old quarterback throw for over I felt like it was 5,000 yards, but he threw 58 times against the Jaguars defense. And they're not like deep bombs or whatnot. They're just short crossing patterns that need to be stopped. And yet the defense looked like a bunch of 3-year-olds playing pickup basketball against their older brother. What are we doing here?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was like.
And the worst thing is that Matt Ryan looked like the MVP. Granted, it was ridiculous. 58 passes, 389 yards, 3 touchdowns, and that last touchdown pass. Holy shit, Shaquille Griffin. You are one of the worst corners I've seen all year. That was the worst defensive play I think I've ever seen as a Jaguar. And we've seen some pretty bad defensive players, including some first-round busts. This game falls squarely on the defense, and specifically Shaquille Griffin, but he's getting enough blame by the bigger media. I don't care. That was a disaster Sunday afternoon in Indianapolis. We should have won that game. Everyone got that game-winning drive by Trevor Lawrence that we all have been waiting for a year and a half now. We got it, yet just did not happen.
So, all right, is that it?
Also, you run the ball, you put yourself in great position to win. It worked out. Just the defense was a joke. God, that game should have never happened.
Well, you got to play the Colts twice a year.
No, I'm saying the way the game ended.
Right.
Because you have arguably a good defense. That defense is average at best right now. There's no pass rush. Where the hell are Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker, besides getting Trayvon Walker and his unsportsmanlike conduct penalties? This guy's 40-plus years old.
Yeah.
You got to get after him. And the Colts are the worst offensive line in football, and yet you get how many sacks? 0.
First game this season with no sacks.
For the Jags or the Colts?
Jags.
Oh, wouldn't surprise
me. And it was
either.
probably the first game for the Colts too, not allowing a sack.
Probably.
Just assuming.
What the fuck was that on Sunday?
Last year, just for reference, we only had 3 games where we didn't record a sack. That was against Arizona. Think about the quarterback here. Arizona, Kyler Murray. Miami,
Tua,
and New England.
Mac Jones. Okay. That was a 50-10 blowout. That was over from when you said hike.
Right. But, those guys could actually move their feet if they need to. Matt Ryan is a statue, and I'm just going to say this right now. I tip my cap to the Indianapolis Colts. They got embarrassed here in Jacksonville. They lose 24-0, and they game planned. Quick passes, so they didn't even think about a pass rush.
But go ahead.
Their good receivers were back, which obviously showed because we couldn't fucking cover them. The running back was non-existent, but he still got a couple yards here and there when he needed to. But literally, the biggest problem with all of that is that he threw the ball 58 times, and we couldn't figure it out. Now, Shaq Quarterman, or
Griffin,
I said it wrong. My bad. Shaq Griffin is not a was not a press corner in Seattle. He's not a press corner now. You can't just expect him to become one magically. But do we not have anyone else? Didn't we draft 2 corners? I know they were like late rounds, but didn't we draft a couple corners?
We drafted Tyson last year. We drafted a bunch of 6th, 7th round.
Gillespie?
6th, 7th round corners.
No, that's a safety. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Monteric Brown,
Claybrook,
Chris Claybrooks. I don't know. We needed somebody to press, and we couldn't press.
My thing is what blows my mind, and I'll let Skyler. I just got these thoughts that are running in my head. He threw 58 times. A combined 34 went to his receivers. Another 10, 3 receivers as in Alec Pierce, Paris Campbell, and Michael Pittman. And another 10 targets went to Deion Jackson out of the backfield.
Yeah.
What is one thing the Jaguars defense has never been able to stop?
Running backs out of the backfield?
Yeah, screen passes or whatever. Like, what the hell?
That goes back to like 2012.
That goes back to ever since I can remember watching Jaguars football. Like, dude, Matt Ryan should not have been able to throw 58 times in a game in 2022.
His arm should be falling off, you'd think.
His arm is going to had probably the most ice it's ever had in its life.
What is it, that meme of like LeBron where he has like 50 ice packs all over him? That's Matt Ryan after that game. It was very tough to watch. Skyler, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes to show like the veteran Matt Ryan versus like how Trevor performed against the Texans. Like, Matt Ryan took everything he was given, and that's something that Trevor is learning this season. And, when you do that, eventually a defense messes up and he gives away the big play. And that's just what we were dealing with the whole time. And you can look at every aspect almost like Etienne, I sent a stat through the chat, or like he had 8 touches in the first quarter for 80 yards and then ended up with only 12 touches in the game. And I'd have to go look back at how the touches were distributed, but I'm just assuming here that it was pretty balanced, where like Robinson had close to 12 touches, Etienne had 12. He did
have 12. James Robinson had 12, Etienne had 10.
And then I would say like Lawrence probably had like 4 carries, and then there might have been like 2 others around there.
6.
So Lawrence had 6.
33 total rushes in the game.
So I think Doug
Hasty had 3 as well.
Okay, yeah. And Doug I think he wants to keep it around 30 runs total. It doesn't matter who's in his backfield.
Right.
And that's where I think like it sucks for the personnel we have, because James Robinson, if he had all 30 carries, you could probably see him with like 140 yards and a couple touchdowns.
Yeah.
We definitely dominated the run. And like Hasty had a huge run. Etienne was all over the place, but Etienne didn't get into the end zone yet. Lawrence got 2 rushing touchdowns. And then, so I just, the way I look at it is, I think we can win games if we need to, and that's a game we should have won. Lawrence went down the field, he drove, we got the lead, and then defense gave it away. So
can we give props to Trevor for that?
Yeah,
I mean, everyone's been shitting on Trevor for not being able to lead a fourth quarter drive, and he did.
Yeah, and
he did, and he scored.
And also, if I'm not mistaken, like the game against Miami, like technically was a win, like a game-winning drive for him.
Yeah, that would have been registered as a game-winning drive, but the defense blew it.
But this one, I think, was like the first time where like it was like, we were down and he would have let us. Like, but yeah, so like we did everything we needed to be in position to win, and then defense messes up. The way I look at it is, if we're going to run the same offensive scheme, we're not going to change it. We're going to go through the season, 30 touches distributed. It's going to be pretty balanced between Etienne and Robinson. And people aren't going to be happy, and I think we're going to lose games because of that. But I think that's going to put us in whatever position we will be for the draft, and then, we're going to start to notice what pieces we bring in. Like Kirk was obviously like a speedy piece, like it's open and quick passing situations. Next piece we might get is probably a receiver that can come down with the ball no matter what. We don't have that. We don't have a guy that can get open no matter what.
50-50 winners, yeah.
Yeah, no 50-50 winners, and no one that can just get open every play.
If you look at Trevor's numbers after 20 yards throwing in the air, miserable.
Yeah.
Miserable. No one can win a jump ball. We don't have that guy like you're talking about. So go ahead.
Yeah, and our offensive line is okay. It's not been great. So, like, it shouldn't all be on Trevor, like, for these past few games. Like, he obviously played horrible against Houston. He made some really messed up decisions, but I think it goes to, like we don't have that guy with the 50-50 ball, so sometimes maybe he feels he's got to play hero ball.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we've been in every game so far. We should have, honestly, like, we you could go way around each game and say we could have won that game, we should have won that game. There's things you can look at. So obviously, I wish we only ended up with 2 wins so far now. Or
Yeah,
2 and 4.
2 and
And
4.
it's felt like we've won 4, and like we're supposed to be 4 and 2 instead, which I get. But and now we got New York coming into town, and then we got some. I don't know if it's lucky that Russell's out for potentially in the running game, but
Yeah.
I don't know. The way I look at this whole season though is we're gonna have some back and forth. We're gonna be frustrated, but the offense is obviously when they're clicking. I think they can score a ton. But it's going to be frustrating because, like, we could have ran the ball just maybe 5-10 more times, and that's the difference. Like the 3rd and 1 where we were in shotgun formation, that never makes sense to me. A 1-yard situation, you're in shotgun.
No, well, remember that they had multiple 3rd down and short situations, and instead of giving it to Trevor just to run it up the gut, they didn't. And then they did it the one time, and it converted.
Yeah.
That
Wow,
option
a 4th
play,
down.
that option play was one of the worst. That was.
What is it, Pop Warner? What the hell was that
And
play
also,
call?
why don't you call timeout in that case? Like, it seemed rushed. As soon as they broke
did.
huddle,
It
it
did.
seemed very rushed. And
And-
if you want to run the play, fine. But at least have better timing. Call timeout. Make sure you guys get all the play because something looked off on that play call.
Yeah.
It did.
So-
A couple other things I wanted to note
Fuck the Jags,
is
man.
give flowers to Tyson Campbell. I mean, at least on
Three,
the other
what was
side,
it, 3 attempts thrown at him.
3
only-
receptions on 6
8
targets
yards.
for 8 yards
That's what it
and
was.
2 forced incompletions. So I'll give him that. And I think we can all agree, maybe, I don't know, this is up to you guys, but this is my thought. Foley Fatukasi is the most important player on the defense, and him not being out there really hurts.
It appears so. It's crazy how much a nose tackle can do for a defense, and like I felt like we've had more success in the past when we've had really good nose tackles or just big linemen like Calais Campbell or Stroud and Henderson.
Miss the mayor.
And then even like Malik Jackson, like when we had him and what's his name that came down from Buffalo? He was
Marcel Darius.
Yeah,
Yeah.
When Darius and Jackson were together, I always enjoyed that. Darius just couldn't stay healthy, it seemed like, so he didn't play as much. But yeah, I like when nose tackles are a factor, and like obviously like that helps with the run. We need him if we're gonna be having Saquon Barkley coming into town.
Yeah, Saquon's gonna.
It's going to be an interesting week. Saquon coming into the town, and then we go to London. So I do want to do a quick record update if you guys don't have anything else. Okay, cool. So I had us at 2-4 right now. So Mike, you had us at 2-4. So
Did I really?
You had us at 4-2.
Heck
Wait,
yeah.
did I really have us at 2-4?
You had us at 2-4. You were the only one who actually predicted a correct win, which was week 2. Indy, you had us winning that game. You also had us beating the
I
Commanders.
didn't have us beating the Colts.
I didn't have us beating the Texans.
No, you had us beating the Colts. I'm just saying of us with like the 2-4. You had us beating the Commanders and Indy. You had us 4 straight losses.
So I had us losing to the Texans.
Yes. You were the only one who picked that loss. I picked that and the Commanders as wins, so I missed both my wins, but we both picked 2-4. We all picked that we would beat the Giants, so that was before the season and how crazy things were. So, damn, this sucks. I'm sorry, guys. You and I, Mike, we're 0-6 the last 3 weeks for our teams, Jags and Knowles. It sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I was talking to Scott, and Saturday, I told him, I'm like, if the Knowles lose bad against Clemson, I'm not even going to watch the Jags on Sunday. And they didn't. I give Florida State credit. They tried to come back a little bit too late, but they did show fight, and that's better than in previous years for the Magic. Or for the Magic. I'm thinking about the Magic right now. It's opening night, baby. Yeah, actually, you know what? Screw that. Transitioning there, Manzi's Magic is going to be making a comeback very soon. I have catered it to where it's not just Orlando Magic. It is heavily focused on the Orlando Magic, but will feature other talk about the NBA. I will be recording it probably this week. Maybe we'll get it out over the weekend or something, but going to talk about some of the off-season shenanigans for some teams and, of course, what's going on with the Magic. So Skyler's working on his mini pod too. Mike,
I'm not doing one. Too busy right now.
I should hopefully have something out next week, like working with Justin, got some exciting stuff going on. So
for all you golf lovers, Justin James is electric on social media. So I think he's going to be a great addition, and I really am looking forward to that. I love the pullover too that you got.
Oh, thank you.
That's
Yeah,
part
so
of the new line.
We ordered some gear from Swanee's, and yeah, it all looks good. This pullover is perfect because it gets pretty cold inside, even though it's hot outside. So I need something when I'm inside that's not a Cubs hoodie.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
That's very good call.
Yeah.
Mike, you look like you're about to say something.
No, I'm good. I'm just looking at my emails.
Anybody know of anything going on in Jacksonville coming up?
I
said Murray Halloween, but
well, I signed up just to go check it out, like on the 22nd. Lennar and Stillwater community. It's a new community near Cimarron, Southampton on 210.
Okay.
It's a golf community. They're opening up a new golf course. So hopefully I'll go out there and check it out. But that's on the 22nd.
It's going to be like $50 a round, I'm sure.
I don't know. Probably that's the average price, but
yeah. We need more.
It says it's a world-class golf course.
We need more Magnolia Plantations.
I've never played that.
I played that one with Mike.
Where's that?
Where is that, Mike? It's past
You think I remember?
the car dealership. You were selling a house out there. It's past Orange Park. What is that called?
Fleming Island? No.
It's farther than that. It's in the middle of nowhere. But it's like $30.
You got
$20.
like the first tee out there off of like Gulf Air Boulevard, and then there's some older courses out there that like there's one that used to host the Jacksonville Open, and I'm pretty sure Ben Hogan shot like a 7 on one of the par 3s out there.
He shot a 7?
Yeah, there's let me see if I can find it real quick.
I was like, wait, I thought you were about to say like he had a hole in one. No, he had a 7.
No, yeah, there's a sign out there.
Oh, and just so you all know, while you're looking that up, the Icemen are back, so you can go catch the Icemen this Saturday. They're back in town playing the Orlando Solar Bears. There is a new team in the league that I'm going to mention too. Once Skyler finds out, I'm going to let you find that first.
So it was at Hyde Park, the Greater Jacksonville Open. Ben Hogan actually shot an 11 on the par 3 6th hole in 1947 during his third round. So,
wow.
If you ever feel bad about your golf game, Ben Hogan, one of the best players all time ever.
Oh yeah.
Shot an 11 on a par 3 at Hyde Park here in Jacksonville. So go to Hyde Park, play that par 3, and shoot something under 11. You can say you shot better than Ben Hogan.
I will do that. And yeah, so the new team in the ECHL is the Savannah Ghost Pirates.
Okay.
I just thought that was a sweet
Are you
name.
going to go see the Savannah Bananas?
I actually already got tickets.
Oh, nice. When are they playing?
March.
Oh, man, that's a long time away.
Yeah, it is. I got them through
probably interferes with bike week, right?
Though. Yeah, probably. I got them through Alyssa's school, though, so that was pretty sick. Because they're not even available to the public yet. She got them through the school deal. But yeah, going to see the Savannah Bananas, which, if you don't know, are like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball.
Do they play the same team every time?
They're going to be playing a different team. I forgot what they're called. It's just
the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
That would be interesting, but no. I am excited for that. The Bananas are very, very, very popular right now.
They got some unique rules. My favorite is probably the fact that you can steal first.
Steal first, no bunting.
And then also I love if a fan catches a foul ball, it's an out.
It's an out, yeah.
That's awesome.
Mike would actually enjoy that.
Because now that just makes the plate discipline even tougher, too.
It really does.
You can't just swing to stay alive.
They should take down the nets.
God. They should sign waivers first, too. Eh?
No. Okay, so yeah, that about wraps things up. I do want to mention that Nerdy Nuts has been continuing to drop their Halloween flavors. The Pearl Jam one that they just released on Sunday sold out in 1.5 minutes.
Dang.
So, yeah. They've got blueberry streusel almond butter out right now, which I heard is very good. And hopefully they'll restock. They're going to restock all the ones they just released, but double chocolate cookie dough sounds amazing.
It does.
I really want to get some of that. But, of course, for all you traditionalists out there are other kinds that are more basic, not so crazy, like Fluffernutter or Cookies and Cream. stuff like that. Toffee, you know, there's a lot of other flavors that don't scream like 50,000 flavors. So definitely go check them out. Use code DIMES10 at checkout to get 10% off of your purchase. And that about wraps things up. Appreciate you guys all coming to listen. All of you, we love you all. Again, everyone that listens to us, we respect the heck out of you because we are just a bunch of goobers here just trying to make, I was about to say make a living, but just trying to have some fun, do some recording, talk some sports. If you ever want us to talk about a certain topic, please let us know. We would love to cater to anything that you might think. Maybe you have something that might be a guest. Who knows? For Skyler, for Mike, and myself, Keith, this has been another episode of Dimes on Duval. Thank you, and have a great day.
Go Magic.
Go Magic.